Thank you very much for having me today. BBC Storyworks is a creative agency which produces award-winning documentary-style short films. In October 2023, we launched The Climate and Us, a series made by BBC Storyworks Commercial Productions and hosted on bbc.com in partnership with the Global Climate and Health Alliance. Earlier today, you saw a film we made with GSK based in Nepal, and within the series, we have actually over 30 films and articles. The series so far has had nearly 1 million page views on our bbc.com website and more than 30 million engagements across the BBC social media campaign. It was truly an incredible series to work on. But how did it all come about? Well, the idea came from our experience in telling stories in previously produced series on both health, climate, and the environment. Series such as Asia Change for the WWF and our health series, Caring with Courage for the International Council of Nurses. It was just becoming more and more apparent to us that the climate crisis is a health crisis. So we decided to seek out the change makers, the organisations, the people, the communities who were addressing these challenges and driving transformative change. We wanted to tell their stories to a global audience. So we focused on two areas. The first, the effect of climate change on our human health, and the second, the direct impact of the health sector itself on climate change. I'm just going to share my screen very quickly so that you can see some of the website. Hopefully you can see that okay. So the joint objective between ourselves and the Global Climate Health Alliance was to communicate that the climate crisis is a health crisis. But climate and storytelling needs a very unique approach. We know that we need stories that are 5 minutes or shorter because people's attention span does go. We need to grab them within the first 5 seconds of being on screen. In a world saturated with content online, the messages need to stick, so we have to entertain and provoke emotion. So along with our brilliant BBC Storyworks design team, we developed a website that was clear and eye-catching with easy to navigate pages for the viewer to work around. You can see the main website page on your screen now. So we had 3 chapters that our films fell into, and the first one was called Protecting Resources. The films on this chapter, The films on this series, on this first chapter that you can see here, Protecting Resources, showed how the climate crisis was threatening the resources we depend on for our daily lives. So we asked the question, how can we protect our most essential needs? Among the films in this chapter, we had all sorts of different areas that we visited, but we looked at what can be learned from Indigenous people in the Arctic in the ways they protect their land. The second chapter that we had was called Extreme Events. We know that extreme events have become increasingly common. So in this chapter, we asked, how can we prevent or even adapt to them? We looked at satellites in Mexico and the USA who were exposing toxic emissions, and we highlighted the invisible health impacts of wildfire. Our third and final chapter we called Resilient Health. We know that climate-related health burdens are growing, so we asked, how can our health systems become more resilient